So one of the biggest surprises for 2012 game releases was TellTale Games' The Walking Dead. I don't think anybody really expected to see this game kind of come out of nowhere and be on top 10 lists, let alone some of our number ones and number twos and threes. What was it, Kim, that really caught you with this game?
I think it was in that opening, that first episode, when they had the kid on the tractor. To me, that set up exactly what this game was going to do, put really tough choices in front of you. I sat there for a second, because it doesn't give you time to really think, so everything has to be done really fast, and I wanted to save the guy, because I knew it would be like the better thing. If you're if you're, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you're in there, like, who's going to be more useful to you in a zombie?
The child has his whole life.
But then I was like, I can't see a child die. And so that's what I went for the kid, but I mean, that's what it did to you, was it had this emotional, like...
And he was fine after that.
Oh, I know, yeah.
I have a quick question, though, because that's Herschel's son, right?
Yeah.
And who is already dead in the comics by the time you get to him. That weighed in on my decision. I know this guy dies. This kid's interesting. I haven't interacted with him. I've read the comic, so this kid's dead.
So to reveal sort of under the hood, no matter what you decide there, Duck always lives. What's the other kid's name?
Herschel's
kid? Yeah, Herschel's kid always
Herschel's
dies.
Kisses.
So it's kind of like this, like, well, you have the element of choice, but you don't really have...
Yeah.
I kind of say if a character is meant to die in that game, they're going to die. Yeah. So there's nothing you can really do to stop it.
Like, that's interesting that you mentioned that it was the barn decision that made it for you. It was as soon as I realized that they were going to have like a little girl in the game, you know, the whole like babysitter coming, and then like the message on the answering machine. Mm-hmm. That's when it kind of hit me a little bit.
I'm gonna die, baby. If you can hear this, call the police. That's 911. We love you. We love you. We love you.
I wasn't sure where it was going to go, as I didn't have any experience with the comics or the TV show going into this, so I had no idea what was going to happen. I didn't realize it kind of took such a toll on you emotionally going through
That's
it.
interesting. I was actually going to ask, because I think the game came out before you even joined the staff. But like, so what drew you to the series then, if you weren't into the comic or show?
Yeah, everybody kept talking about it, and I know I had a weekend, and PSN had it where if you were a PlayStation Plus member, you got the first 2 episodes free. So
that's awesome.
I was kind of in this place where I was looking for something where I was going to attach to characters. Like, I think the last game that really did that for me was Mass Effect 3. And, you know, game writing for me has been so up and down. And so I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. I wasn't really expecting anything, and I just instantly loved it. When Clementine walks onto that screen, in that moment, I just had this instinct. I want to protect her.
They kind of sunk their teeth into me a little bit right when Lee's introduced in the car. And they paint him as a gray character right there, where I'm lying. Like, they're giving me multiple choices to just lie right off the bat. And, you know, you don't even know what the truth is, but you're just spouting stuff off. And at that point, when he goes and meets Clementine, it's like, should she trust me? Is my character good? Are they gonna pull a 180 here and make me a villain or something? I didn't really know what to expect, so from there I was really intrigued.
It was like a Darth Revan situation.
Yeah, and the little things like Clementine's gonna remember that. And if you do something horrible, you're like, oh man, what's gonna happen later on?
There's like a 1-2-3 punch for me, in my opinion, which is like, one, the premise of like convicted dude going to spend his life behind bars is saved by a zombie apocalypse, plus Clementine, and it's like, oh, this is another interesting character, and he's going to protect her. Like, and then you have the third point, which is the farm and stuff. It really establishes everything so well in that first episode. That's why I was able to make an immediate impact on people.
Like you're saying, that first scene where you're in the car with Lee and you're just having that conversation, and there's all these other cop cars buzzing by, like you can tell that something in the world is wrong.
And you know there's something wrong with your character because you're in the back of a police car.
Yeah.
Like, what did he do?
And the dialogue between him and the cop is actually pretty interesting and good. Then there's that scene where the zombie walks in front of the car. It's a really well-constructed scene. Yeah, and subtly told, and I was like, whoa, this is gonna be good. Because I was coming at it from a different angle. I was like not really expecting that much. Even though I'm a fan of Walking Dead. I'd reviewed Jurassic Park and Back to the Future, which Back to the Future was fun, but Jurassic Park, you know, not as good. So I was coming at it from like, well, this is gonna be more of the same. And it was just not at all what I expected.
Also, there's something just inherently interesting about the beginning of a zombie apocalypse that not enough forms of media touch on. The Dawn of the Dead remake touches on it a little bit, like the original Night of the Living Dead kind of shows this escalation. But this game gave you another insight. I think that's just immediately grabbing. I almost wish that the entire series would have kind of given you a better overall look. Because like as soon as you get into like a city, it's just like too late in that game.
One of its strengths that I didn't see coming was it being episodic, giving people a month break between each chapter and making them think about their choices and what could possibly happen next, and talk, you know, at water coolers and around the office. Just amped it up a little bit more and made you more excited for that next episode.
That was my favorite part. I would like spend the break in between episodes and just analyze everything and be like, oh, I think it's gonna go here, or I think, what if that meant this, or you know, what if this character is really bad? And like I would go through all these different possibilities in my head, and that's what I loved about it. And then talking to other people about what they did and everything, and trying to piece it together with other people what was going on. And I liked that month break because some of the episodes were a little heavy, a lot of unpredictability, and I think it was nice to have that month to kind of digest everything that had happened in between.
Yeah, and they got that disc that's coming out now, you can play them all at once, but I kind of feel like that'd be the wrong way to play this game, just because it could be very emotionally draining. Just exhausting to go through 5 episodes like that in a row.
And not
that
even
could
that
be kind of cool
fun.
too.
Not a gameplay. There's no gameplay hook.
Definitely you kept going because of the story, but like in terms of like meaty gameplay, there wasn't anything there. I feel like there was
Wasn't a lot of puzzles.
Especially that first episode, those puzzles were confusing and weird.
I wonder if they would have been able to draw so many people in though if they had had more hardcore puzzle, because people were playing this game that I normally would never expect to play a graphic adventure. And I'm wondering if it was more puzzle heavy, if it would have turned certain people off. I think we're in this phase where everybody likes their choices and wants like to have that decision and want to feel like they're creating their own narrative and stuff. So I think that's what drew people to it, and I think that's what it does well, because you've kind of shaped different decisions throughout the game. And I feel like to that is the gameplay of The Walking Dead.
They're breaking new ground. I'm sure those were concerns when they were making that game, is we need more action, but I think they made the right choices in making the story the central force and the characters kind of the thing that you latch onto.
Oh yeah, because by the time you get to the 5th episode, puzzles are almost non-existent. Like they're just done away with,
And
which I think was the right choice, because like puzzles in the first episode, like if those are going to be the puzzles, just don't do them.
And I can see the argument, like some people say it's not a game. It's more of like a interactive, choose your own adventure story. Maybe we're moving into that area for certain types of games, and I think that's great. It's a new genre. This game might be breaking new ground, and if you haven't played The Walking Dead yet, you have to do it. It's one of the best games this year, of this generation, I would even say, in terms of offering a different type of experience that you've never seen before.